Hello everyone and welcome to our mini Game Week 21 review show. It's a long week. Kieran, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. I'm very good. I feel like the podcast or the show to help break apart what feels like the longest game week ever is going to help.
It's good to talk some FPL because I'm bored otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. I wish they didn't do the game weeks like this, but that's why we said we'd do a show last week so we could sort of catch up because it feels like such a strange, feels like two blank game weeks rather than one full game week. So
Yep.
let's get into it and find out how we've done so far. We're both sitting pretty on green arrows though, so that's good.
Yeah, so far.
Do you want to kick us off on moves made and points gained and irritations?
Yeah, so I did Son to Foden in the end. I rolled the second other transfer, kept Salah. Annoying because 3 goals in that City game. Foden and Alvarez both played 90 minutes and both blanked. And that's just, I guess, classic City. Obviously, I'm happy to own them for now with doubles coming up. I guess we'll see. Alvarez might be the one to move on to Haaland if he's fit. But yeah, just frustrating there. So overall 32 points. My defense did well. Porro with the clean sheet, not a clean sheet, the assist and some bonus with 6 points. Gusto with the clean sheet as well. He's done pretty well for me recently. Conser as well with the clean sheet. Hopefully Gabriel and Areola can make those clean sheets too the weekend. So Palmer with the 10 viced him, but he, it was a lucky penalty. Well, not a lucky penalty, but he really didn't do much the rest of the game. I feel a little bit justified in the Saka captaincy if he hadn't got that penalty. And then the rest of my team, Watkins has only got 3 returns in the last 7 weeks now. He's had 2 assists and 1 goal in 7 weeks. So, he's starting to be on my radar of someone to move on. But his fixtures are still good. So, And then, Darwin's not played yet. Alvarez obviously blanked, and my bench is non-existent. So,
It's interesting what you say about Watkins. He's definitely someone I'm looking at because of what we'll talk a little bit about doubles and blanks and whatnot, but he's like someone I'd kept my eye on because he's got that good fixture in game week 26 where we expect there's going to be a lot of blanks, but I think the upside of maybe getting rid of them for players who've got some multiple doubles might be a route worth taking, especially if we're thinking about who to replace in our front three for Haaland, if and when he ever comes back. So cool. I did who did I do? Richarlison came in for Son. I actually had a look at the how.
I wish I just did that as well in the end.
Last week I just never fancied Foden. I feel like previous season bias, I should say, rather than pre-season bias. And I just think Richarlison playing up front, Spurs are quite good. I mean, to be honest, it was still an unknown how they'd be without Son, and perhaps they weren't as creative. But still, he's in form, so I'm pleased. But a lot of people went the same way. So I had a look at the transfers for people inside the top 10k. So 17% of them did Son to Foden as a first move, and 11% of them did Son to Richarlison. So he was the lesser pick there, and people also 14% of people went Salah to Foden. So that's over 30% of people who got rid of a blanker brought in Foden on the back of that.
Yeah.
So he was popular. He returned. He obviously got that nice bonus. Gordon got me a really nice goal in that City game. That was a quality goal.
He did nothing else the whole game as well. Really, no, he just happened to pop up with that finish and just seemed to be out of nowhere as well. And you've lucked out on both of those. Like Richarlison didn't do much else either.
Headed from a corner as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pleased about it. Gordon's funny as well because I feel like I never back him to return away from home, but at home I just feel like he could do something against anyone. So he's got some okay fixtures coming up the next 3 or 4 as well. So happy with him. Like you, I think the rest of the team's pretty similar. You put me onto Gusto a couple of weeks ago, and he's done well for such a small fee. And Watkins and Alvarez up front, blankers both of them. And like you, I was a bit disappointed Palmer return because then it's like you're looking all week at these points on the board and thinking, oh god, Saka's got to try and match that. And like I said, he's only had or two earlier in the week. He's only had 2 double-digit hauls all season.
Yeah, but it is a green arrow with captaincy, with a popular captaincy gone already. So our captaincy on the top of this should just help. It should just be good.
Yeah,
should just stay green, hopefully.
Yeah. No, I hope I don't regret. No, even though Dubravka's just sitting on the to have 3 of his goalkeepers quite nice if you're not going to get the clean sheet. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this weekend because, low ownership Archer is a big differential, and I've been rooting for him, and looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm excited for the weekend. Some good games coming. Hopefully, Darwin can do something against Bournemouth. Hopefully the Arsenal defense doesn't let us down. And then we'll just see with Saka, I suppose. But I'm quietly confident that Saka's going to do something this weekend.
So they won. I was having a look at previous season. So Arsenal won 4-1 at home against Palace last season. And they beat Palace as well earlier in the season. Arsenal have been a bit stuttery recently, but do you think that they've had this extended break now, and Palace are playing? I think they're playing tonight against Everton. Second round of their cup game, or the return leg. So I'm kind of banking on them being tired, Arsenal being ready to go on a serious one. I mean, Arsenal haven't won in 3 games now, and 1 win in the last 4. So they've not been great.
I'm gonna back like a 2-0, something like that. I think Saka to get a goal and assist, and the clean sheet. I just think, they will look good. I don't think they'll score loads, but I think they're going to be back to their sort of like their best.
I really hope so. I feel like I was really backing this season Arsenal to, be the ones to challenge City, and I think just recently in these games you wouldn't expect them to drop points in the Fulham and West Ham game. The question mark's been raised. I mean, Saka obviously scored in that Fulham game and they still lost, but just Palace on paper at home just looks like such a good fixture for them to get their mojo back ahead of what is pretty good run after that, up until game week 30 when they play Man City away. They've got Liverpool at home and Chelsea at home in that time, and if they want to make a statement, I think this is a good block of fixtures to start a run in.
Yeah, I think Palace are missing a few for AFCON as well. I think Nottingham Forest are the team that's missing the most, but Palace have got like 2 or 3. Like Jordan Ayew is obviously played a 90-minute man in that team, who's obviously I don't think he's any good, but he obviously Hodgson does. So I don't expect them to do much, but I think Eze and Elise are fit, aren't they? So that's obviously a bit of a worry, but I expect this time off for Arsenal, they'll be able to deal with it. See if Eze and Elise get through tonight, I suppose, because they both seem to be very injury-prone right now.
Absolutely. I mean, Eze is a really interesting pick for people, I think, as well after this game week, or Elise. Like I hadn't planned to speak about them too much really, but Crystal Palace's fixture run after Arsenal is really good. They've got Sheffield United at home, Brighton away, Chelsea home, Everton away, Burnley home. There's some nice fixtures there in the next sort of run of games, and even longer term. It's not really until game week 32 when they play City. They've got like a tricky, maybe Spurs away, but they've got like quite a good block as well, a bit like Arsenal of games there.
Yeah, I've actually just checked on Elise. He's got a hamstring injury apparently, so 25% chance of playing, which means no chance of playing. So that's annoying after he's just come back and have been looking good. So shame. They really need Eze to be fit then, because without him and Elise, they've been pretty poor. Yeah,
kind of hope for Arsenal's clean sheet's sake they stay unfortunately injured this weekend. Should we talk about Liverpool a little bit, because obviously you're relying on Darwin again, and you swerved Jota, so I suppose you're hoping it's a Darwin fest and Liverpool win Solanke blank like me.
That would be lovely. I expect Bournemouth to do all right here. Obviously, they've both had a bit of a break, and I think I said in the last show, I expect Bournemouth could do something, probably at least score at home. They've been pretty good. So, there's as your notes that you provide me this week, because I haven't had time. But there's been over 2.5 goals scored in 12 of Bournemouth's last 14 games in the Premier League. So that's pretty high.
That's worrying to me as like a non-Solanke owner.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I'm kind of just hoping this break is sort of broken Solanke's sort of run of form. Yeah, and then he's had such a like gap, like 2 odd weeks, isn't it? So hopefully he's just back to being crap and not a pick in FPL. So
I know he's just been an absolute beast run. Just coincided with the time that Haaland was out, and he's nearly 30% ownership now, 27.7. If he does return this weekend, it's just like heading towards what is going to be a red arrow for non-owners, because most active players I think are going to have him in their team. So yeah, it's a worry.
I think he's the only player I need to fear from this weekend in terms of effective ownership. I think Trent's going to be missing out still, isn't he? He's supposed to be. So, but yeah, Liverpool are actually undefeated in their last 13 matches as well in the Premier League. So they've been on a good form. The form book says they should win this, but Bournemouth at home have been good, haven't they? So I don't know. I expect goals at least 2, maybe 3, like 3-1, something like that to Liverpool. That sounds kind of good to me. But maybe not. Maybe 1-1, something like that. It just remains to be seen what happens with Liverpool without Salah, without Trent, and Szoboszlai's not there. Who's going to be creating the goals? I don't know.
Not there, and don't know if we can properly rely on Darwin, Gakpo, or Jota as a front three in like this kind of game. But it will be a really good test to see, how they do really.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Jota might be the one that gets all the goals, like just because the one I didn't go for.
You can't say that now.
Yeah. Oh well.
Because otherwise you're setting yourself up for regret. You want to think that Jota's blanking. There you go. That'll help.
That'll be nice
this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's touch on a few more games from this weekend. I think those are probably like the two main fantasy interests this weekend. Brentford Forest is also happening, and Tony's back, which is quite exciting as just like another striker option. And he's going to have a double game week, which we'll talk about in a minute, in 25. Brentford obviously going to have 6 fixtures over like 5 game weeks. So if Watkins is continuing to not perform, and Tony has been a proven FPL pick in previous seasons as well, 2.5% ownership if you get on him early, and he does hit the ground running when he comes back, and he could be good. So yeah, I quite like the idea of looking at that.
Is it right that he wasn't allowed to train during the time as well?
Oh God, I don't know.
I think it
Probably
said that he wasn't allowed. Yeah, not with the team. So I assume he would have been keeping fitness and everything, but like, is he going to go straight back into the team? I'm not sure. Like,
I saw he played like some under 21 games, maybe like last week and the week before, and he'd scored some goals, and it was like in the news that he was back. So I appreciate that's not Premier League level, but I wouldn't be surprised if he had like a 70-minute, 80-minute, and then started to play a 90-minute game.
Didn't they play last night in the FA Cup and he wasn't even in the squad? Like, surely that was a chance for him to get minutes, no?
I think the ban is up for this game week. I could be wrong, but I feel like he was also banned and that's why he wasn't in the squad the other night as well.
Okay,
fair. The fixtures are mixed for Brentford, and I didn't realise how badly they've been doing, like in terms of the table. They're like 4th or 5th bottom at the minute.
Yeah.
And their fixtures are pretty rough, but Tony has, like I say, has been a good pick. So yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on that one to see how he does.
I'm just dubious with that. Like, I know Visser is away at AFCON as well, so I guess he probably will have to play. Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people seem to have already, like, especially by Twitter, like a lot of people have got on him already. Like, it's just that seems a bit gun ho. But
really,
yeah. I guess because of the double, but yeah, there's like 2.5% owned. Seems maybe that's dead teams or just like auto pick teams, but I guess we'll see. Hopefully he does come. Yeah, another striker option would be welcomed at this point.
Definitely. I mean, I've still got my eyes on. I saw in like the transfer talk that Wolves were interested in Broja. Is it Broja from Chelsea? Like, I've got a sneaky want to have Cunha soon. Like, he's been absolute, not beast, but he's been really good recently for Wolves at like really small price. So yeah, he's sort of nearly on Solanke levels of consistency across the last 6 game weeks. So yeah. But to add another striker in the pool would be good. We'll just talk quickly about Sheffield United, West Ham as well. So in terms of what I was thinking about this one is that West Ham's conceding 3 goals against Bristol City last night and going out of the FA Cup is just great news for Archer. Can you imagine him sat at home watching that game, rubbing his hands together, thinking about his first Premier League hat-trick coming up this weekend? It's going to be great, Kieran. Player of the Month award. I'm really excited for Archer this weekend. So, yeah.
I mean, I'm not because I'm hoping for a clean sheet, obviously, and I expect you are too. But
I'd way rather Archer score because his ownership's going to be
true.
way lower than Areola. No, I'm hoping for Archer big points this weekend, and I feel like he's going to get something.
Yeah, probably just to screw me and many others. The way your week has been going in your season lately, it's probably going to happen.
I'm on an upward trend at the minute.
True.
Feel good. Archer's got to keep it going. Right, and then the final game of the game week, Brighton is Stupinan. Obviously, he's been, like I mentioned earlier, about the ownership of players. I think 11% of people who had TTA went to Stupinan this game week in the top 10 as well. So, quite a big move there. I don't know what you think about Stupinan's prospects. Obviously, Brighton have got these good fixtures coming up.
I like it a lot. Yeah. I think he's a good pick. I expect there's going to be clean sheets, as I said last week. They're going to start picking them up with the fixtures have turned. So, yeah, I like him a lot. I just didn't have the spare transfer to go that way. I didn't obviously have Trent in the first place, but yeah, at the time being, like someone like Taylor, because I've got so much money in the bank at the moment, someone like Taylor could go to him, and I can rotate probably Gusto out for next week when he's playing Liverpool away. That would be nice because I don't have a bench at the moment for next week, and I'm going to have to play Gusto. So,
oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have a look at that in a minute. We'll bring up our game week 22 teams, even though it feels like it's away. Should we just? I don't think there's any more fixtures this weekend to chit chat about. So would you just?
Should I just mention Bowen? Obviously.
Yeah. Why not?
So apparently, he was supposed to be ruled out for around 2 to 3 weeks, wasn't it? And we've had like updates recently from the Evening Standard saying the concerns were eased last week when further assessment found the issue to not be as serious as first suggested, but Bowen's recovery has surpassed even more optimistic expectations and could return in time for the trip at Bramall Lane. So,
would be annoying.
There's obviously people. Our friend George has kept him, but he's got him third bench. So, a lot of people who have kept him have possibly benched him. I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people probably kept him and started him just in case. I don't really know. I'm not sure what I would have done in that situation, but some people may be lucking out there because obviously it's a great fixture on paper, but he hasn't got Paqueta around him, hasn't got Kudus around him, and West Ham lost in the cup the other day, didn't they?
Last night, against Bristol City.
Last night. So, and obviously Bowen wasn't in there for that, but they didn't look great. They lost 1-0 to Bristol City, so you don't want any part of that, really.
I know, and it's funny, really, because I think for me and maybe a lot of other people, if Bowen had no injury scare, even without the absentees from West Ham, I kind of think he'd be like still top of my list to come in for Son or Salah, because he would still be the focal point in that team. He's going to be hogging most of the fantasy returns, and Sheffield United precedes like a good run of fixtures as well. So I kind of think, Richarlison and Foden, who percentage-wise were the most brought in to replace Son/Salah. Foden had Newcastle away, difficult, and Richarlison had Man United away, difficult, both on paper obviously, but Bowen at Sheffield United away would have been a really juicy place to get him. So
you see that fixture on paper. I certainly would have looked at it for sure. If he was just fit, I think he absolutely would have been the transfer in.
And then just a bit of future forecasting and planning, just to mention before we just talk about game week 22 very, very briefly. So quite a lot is happening, and it stresses me out having to think about all of like the permutations of everything. So we'll just talk about a little bit what we know. So what we definitely know is that in game week 25 there's a double game week for City and Brentford. That's been announced since we last had our show last week. So City have now got Chelsea and Brentford back to back. Brentford have Liverpool, and then they've got City. In that time as well, it looks like for game week 25 this is that Liverpool are going to potentially have a double game week if they progress in the EFL Cup semi-final, which they're already leading Fulham in 2-1. So if they win the return leg and they go through to the final, it's quite likely that their fixture gets moved from 26 to 25. So they blank in 26 and they get a double. So they could have Brentford and Luton. Luton would then have Man United and Liverpool. So a bit of a stinky one for Luton. But it makes it really difficult because, as we understand it at the moment, like two of the best teams in the country, City and Liverpool, are going to have a double in game week 25. So you might want to configure your team for that. But then in game week 26, there's potential that Liverpool blank, Chelsea and Spurs blank, and potentially as well that Man United and Fulham might blank as well. So there's a lot of moving parts, and we're only just talking about this a little bit now because nothing's going to be set in stone until just before game week 22. So it's just worth mentioning.
If Liverpool triple blank, you're gonna probably want triple Liverpool for the double with Brentford and Luton, obviously, and then you're possibly looking at I guess a free hit at 26, but that doesn't seem ideal. But then if all the other teams are those good teams that we all own players from are blanking too, then it may just be the way to go. Just make sure you're tripled up for the double, and then just free hit out of it, because City with Brentford and Chelsea, that seemed pretty good to me. And Chelsea obviously are okay, but realistically they haven't been good for a while. And City could easily smash them. And then Liverpool, Brentford, Luton. Those are three or two fantastic fixtures that you would want the triple. And you'd expect Salah to just about be back, ready for that double game week as well. So get Salah in, probably captain him. Maybe even look at triple captains. Maybe
that's why I think it gets really difficult, and planning out the chip strategy for this season seems really tough because you obviously can only play one per week, and if you're building towards that, you're going to get stuck with players who, let's say you triple captain Salah, and you've got maybe 3 Liverpool players for that double game week. They're going to blank in game week 26. So your bench is going to have to be good enough to cover that, and they're all going to be expensive. Free hit maybe the week after. I think it's really it's tricky, and like I say, we will know more before the start of game week 22, and then we might have some more plans in place.
Smaller doubles you can usually get away with like 2 from a team, because obviously you can't say who's going to get all the returns.
True.
I think Liverpool, you'd want Salah and Trent. Yeah. But then the third, you'd maybe it's just Darwin. A toss up, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then City, you'd want Haaland plus, don't know, Foden, I guess.
KDB? Alvarez?
Yeah, maybe. Obviously, KDB came back and smashed it this week in 30 minutes. Do we expect him to just start from now on? I don't necessarily think so.
Yeah.
But I think 100,000 odd people bought him in for last week, and people were laughing at him getting benched. But we saw what he could do. There's a bit of a goal rush for him now to just possibly get him in straight away. Just forget about the Fodens and the Alvarezes, and just have the 2 best players in that team of KDB and Haaland, and hopefully Haaland's fit. We still have no idea if he's even fit for this week. That was the reason I rolled him out of the transfer last week, was to bring him straight back in, because obviously the captaincy, Burnley at home, seems amazing. So
I think we've got a really tricky time with Haaland as well, because 22 and 23. So 22 is the deadline's 30th of January, and it's a Tuesday, and then the next game week deadline's on the Saturday morning following. So it's like a really quick, and I kind of feel like it's a quick turnaround for 2 fixtures for someone that might have been out like by that time 6, nearly 8 weeks. So I wouldn't be surprised if even if he's back, his minutes are managed at least across those 2 fixtures. So might even be another game week we go without Haaland for that juicy game against Burnley. Maybe.
Yeah, we need to see Presser what he's saying, and hopefully he's been in training, and hopefully the journos start to say he's basically fit. That would be great, because otherwise, like you said, may just be waiting again. It's getting pretty annoying now. But I've been keeping that money in my bank. I've got like 8 million odd in my bank now. Frustrating.
Easy to move. Right, I think, unless there's anything else you want to chit-chat about, I think, should we just have a quick look at Game Week 22?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. Because it's difficult because we're not really making any decisions this week. Right, let's have a look here. So I'll bring up your team first. I think this is right. There it is. At the moment, you've got Saka captain, which I don't know if that's a not change or a decision.
I haven't changed it, but it was a decision at the same time to just be like, I'll just leave him for now, just because I'm not sure of the City situation of who's going to play, what could happen yet. So, if Haaland's fit, Haaland will come in and he'll be captain. But other than that, then it could be Saka. Just to see what he's like this weekend. If he's firing and fit, then I possibly would be kept. Like Forest have been pretty bad lately. They've lost a lot of players to AFCON as well. So yeah, I don't mind the Saka captain.
Who did you?
I don't think there's a better option for me.
What
really,
about Alvarez captain?
Yeah,
is that a no by any chance?
Yeah, possibly. It's just with KDB back, like what's his minutes going to be? Obviously KDB did come on and Alvarez stayed on the other week, but I mean, if Haaland's back and KDB are back, then his minutes are definitely an issue. And I don't want to be captaining someone when I'm worried about that.
True. So, who did you say you'd get Haaland back for?
It could be any of them. I was thinking it would probably be Alvarez.
Really? Okay.
But at the same time, I think I'd probably have to keep Darwin for now just because of the double coming.
But then wouldn't you say the same for Alvarez was going to be my point? Because I'm going to be asking the same about Watkins.
Yeah. I don't mind the triple up.
Of attacking players.
But it's risky at the same time.
I agree.
It's like 3 attackers from one team. Like if they blank, it's shocking. But you don't expect that to happen very often. But that did happen last week. KDB got the points. Bernardo got the points. But surely that can't happen again, right?
Yeah, you'd think. No, I think team for 22 looks good. Yeah,
that who Haaland comes in for is a decision to make down the line. I'm not sure yet.
All right, let's switch over to mine. Where are we with it? 3-4-3. At the moment, I kind of fancied Alvarez captain. The issue I've got, I'll just run through it. So Areola, Saliba, Porro, Bell at home to Brighton, which I don't love, but better than Gusto, I'm guessing, and better than Taylor.
Yeah.
Richarlison, Gordon, Saka, Palmer, Archer, Alvarez, Watkins. I think the reason mine looks a bit like at the moment is because I'm relying on playing Archer in an away game and Bell in a home game. So, and I've got a lot of money to spend. So, if Haaland was back, Archer to Haaland is really easy. I can afford that. Yeah. And maybe I'd take another move to maybe get a City defender in, which might be like leading towards the double. So maybe.
Do you think Walker's going to continue playing with all the stuff that's come out with him?
No, I kind of expected him to.
He would be the obvious one, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he would, and he's not too expensive. So I don't know. I kind of thought he wouldn't play this past weekend, and he did. So hard to say. But yeah, I mean the easy move, obviously, if Haaland's fit, is Archer to Haaland. If he's not, then I'm going to have to think about what to do, and I might. Bear with me, Kieran. I might.
Taylor, like me, to an Estepinian, maybe.
No, I don't know. No, I might start doing a bit of double game week prep and think about doing Salah to KDB. Because I think that might be quite nice. But anyway, I'm still a bit unsure about his minutes. Anyway, it's a long way to go. We've got nearly 2 weeks to think about this. But that's some early musings about what to do. And then bench Archer for KDB.
So what would you do with Salah come the double game week?
Just have to get him back for... I'd still have a quite cheap bench. So, I don't know, maybe I could... Saka, maybe. Depends how much he's ripping up trees at that point, but the rest of the midfield's quite cheap.
Yeah, true.
Richarlison maybe, because he's going to blank the game week after. So, yeah, there's options there for sure. But like I say, it's 2 weeks out. I might be really boring by then and do nothing and roll the transfer. Who can stay?
Yeah, I've got many options as well. Like I could do that Taylor to Estepinian. I could do Nakamba to basically anyone. I could do Salah to someone. There's lots of permutations, I think, this week.
Harry Dawson in the chats has said he's thinking about next week or game week 22 as well. Solanke is his bus captain at the moment, which I don't mind as a shout away at West Ham. Gross captain is an option. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, he said free hit 25 as well. That could be an option. And then so you don't have to free hit 26, and you've got the players. Yeah, you've got to make sure you've got the players in your
place.
team. Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I don't mind it because I might get a player I wouldn't want to keep, like Darwin or KDB, or Robertson or someone.
But isn't it something like City, Liverpool, Spurs, possibly Chelsea? All of those could be blanking.
Don't have City. I don't have City.
No, it's not City. No, yeah, but Liverpool, Chelsea,
and Spurs.
What's the other Spurs? Yeah. So those are three teams we've got a lot of players from.
Yeah. No, it's definitely tricky, but yeah, we can talk about it now, but we won't know definites until before game week 22, which is quite good because then we'll start planning out some chip strategies. But everyone's going to be different because everyone's team is different. So yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, let's just hope the rest of this week goes okay, and hopefully Saka can do something.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. All right.
I'd like to hit 100 this week, please.
Woohoo! Got a way to go.
Yeah. Saka 50-point captain.
How many does Saka need to get? Saka would need to get like 32, so 2 goals and assist, and you'd want 64, and then the rest of your team's got to get 36 divided by 1, 2, 3. So the other 3 players have got to get 13 points. Kieran, it's on.
Ooh,
it's on.
Yeah, hello. Yeah.
It's on.
So, Gabriel with the goal, Saliba nothing.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
If you had Archie, you'd probably do it.
Yeah, true.
No, you're not going to. Right, cool. Should we wrap?
Darwin will get his first haul in forever. He'll cash in all that XG in one game.
Worrying. Right, should we wrap up there?
Yeah, nice one.
I think it makes sense probably that we do a show once the blanks and doubles are confirmed ahead of game week 22, because then we can sort of present those ideas rather than doing a rippy wrap up next week. But what we'll do, everyone, is we'll post on our YouTube channel when we're going to do the stream in plenty of time so you can find us. Cool. All right. Is there any more you want to add before then?
No, just like we said, hopefully the rest of the week goes well, and hopefully for everyone else's teams too, but not too well because I want to go up in ranks. Thank you.
Very good. Right, short and sweet, everyone. We'll be back, and catch you all soon. Like and subscribe if you haven't already.
Yep.